Please be seated. It is hard for me to believe it was 3 years ago this very week that I stood here for the first time as your new senior associate and preached on the very same gospel we heard today. Somebody said to me this morning, 3 years, it seems a lot longer. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. At that time, I talked about what it means to abide in community, and I began with a story, and I ended with an apology. And I said this: I want to apologize to you in advance and say that as we grow together, although I might not be exactly the associate you prayed for, apparently I am the one God has sent you. Never in my wildest dreams did I envision the journey we would embark on these past 3 years. And while you have been so kind and generous in extolling my part in holding us together during an unanticipated transition, if today's gospel provides us only one lesson, it is this: it wasn't just me. We traveled the road together. Like I say most every Sunday when I have the chance to welcome people, we are far richer for your presence among us, and when even one of us is missing, we are all diminished. This is the deeper meaning of today's gospel as well. There are some, and we're so prone to this, who on hearing this vine and branches I am story are so tempted to use it as assessment and attribute to it all kinds of hurtful theology designed to exclude people and keep all of us on the straight and narrow, like the bear fruit or burn in hell theme, or God sends us problems to help us grow, similar to what I've heard some good parents say to their children. I know this is going to hurt, but it's for your own good. But if we really believe this, then we would also have to say that the last 3 years were part of God's growth plan for the Church of the Holy Spirit, and I just can't go there. And let's not forget this one. Well, I did not get what I prayed for, so I must not really love God enough, or I'm not faithful enough, or whatever it is we say to ourselves when things don't turn out as we had hoped. After all, there is nothing like a good dose of perceived inadequacy to magnify our own sense of failure and discouragement, right? Thankfully, as one of the commentaries I read points out, we are not the point. This story was written for the followers of Jesus, who had literally been thrown out of community because they were followers of Jesus. And it's set at the Last Supper, the night before the world as the disciples knew it would end, and their futures were unknown. Abide in me, Jesus tells them 8 times in 4 verses. The English word abide is a rendering of the Greek word meno, and it means to hold out, to stand fast, to stay still, to remain, and to endure. It has to do with the permanence of God in our lives. Far from being a pronouncement of impending judgment, this story was meant to be a source of encouragement to hang tough together, to be strong together, stay connected to the source of love that is Jesus Christ. We made it through our time of unexpected transition because, intentionally or not, we chose to hang in there together. It is precisely this intimate communal relationship we are called to share with each other. one that is characterized by interdependence, mutual respect, and the ongoing presence of Christ in all we do. When we look at a vine, its branches are so intertwined, we would be hard-pressed to see with the eye where one leaves off and another begins. Unlike St. Paul's description of the body, where the feet and the eyes and the ears retain their own function and they come together to share what each one brings, Jesus speaks to the need for his community to become one body, with abiding love as the singularly important element shared among them, and he as the source of life. Most of us are comfortable, far more comfortable, with the idea of being able to contribute to or add to what goes on here. Rarely do we come willing to surrender part of our identity for the greater good. This is countercultural, even subversive, in a society and culture where we value individual freedom, right? We have the final say about things in our lives. And we view coming to church as an activity we choose to do, not because it defines who we are. Today, Jesus tells us that for a community to live as branches of a single vine means our individual distinctiveness must give way to the common embodiment of abiding love. And you know, if you think past recently, for us, I think the abiding was the gift we discovered in each other. And I just wonder what it would be like to be known as a community who held this up, this mutual abiding, as our identity, as our first and greatest gift, instead of all the other great things that we offer here. Imagine what it would be like if word got out that the Church of the Holy Spirit is the place where you are welcomed, not for what you can bring or give to us, but because we want to share with you the love we already have. What if the scrolling banner on our website said something like this? We know trying to model this abiding life together thing is messy and can be chaotic. And actually, there isn't one of us here who hasn't been a jerk at some time or other. We welcome you, though, to join in our common quest and promise that we will love both the best and the worst of you because we're all on the same path and we really believe Jesus got it right. What if learning about and practicing how to love one another was the one and only goal the vestry set this year? Or if the only thing we taught in Sunday school, including in our adult formation, and especially in our youth, was how to be our real selves, right? How to be vulnerable, authentic, and kind, not nice, but kind. And how we hold each other corporately accountable to the abiding presence of Jesus in our midst. I wonder how our life together might change if we really tried this stuff. My first thought is that it might feel a little scary, and yet maybe that's the point. My former bishop, Herb Thompson, frequently told us that Jesus didn't expect his disciples to always be right. He did expect them to be one. The disciples were afraid, and we know they didn't get it right always. In fact, a lot of the times they didn't get it close to right. But the times that they did get it right were amazing. What was most important is that they just kept at it, believing that Jesus would never leave them. And so, my friends, so should we. Amen.